Henry Cejudo should definitely retire if he loses this weekend. What's up, boys? We're back. Today, we're going to be talking about the fight night that is this weekend. Henry Cejudo, Song Yadong, the main event. In the co-main event, we have Brendan Allen versus Anthony Hernandez representing Mexico. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the co-main event first. So, obviously, we have Brendan Allen versus Anthony Hernandez. These two have actually already faced before in another promotion, I believe, called Legacy. It was Brendan Allen's last fight before the UFC, I'm pretty sure. And both of these guys are grapplers. I think Brendan Allen does have double-digit submissions. So, it's going to be really interesting. I think Brendan Allen's stand-up is decent. Anthony Hernandez's stand-up isn't that good, so it balances out. You know, Brendan Allen was just on that, I think, 6-fight win streak before he faced Imavov. He looked really bad in that fight, I'm gonna be honest. His fight IQ looked horrible. This guy was, like, shooting takedowns every 10 seconds when he needed to finish Imavov in the third round. It didn't make any sense to me, and obviously, Fluffy Hernandez is coming off of that domination to Michel Pereira. 50-45ing him. It would have been 50-45 if he didn't finish him in the 5th round. How I actually think this fight is going to go down, I think this fight is going to be a pretty competitive first couple of rounds. You know, if this fight was 5 rounds, I don't think it would change much, actually. Because, obviously, like we've seen in the last fight, Brendan Allen did get gassed pretty easily to Imavov. In that 3rd round, he looked pretty gassed. Meanwhile, Anthony Hernandez was still going full force for all 5 rounds, similar to Khabib. A lot of people call him Khabib 2.0, and I do agree with that. You know, horrible striking and insane grappling, just absolute domination on the ground. But Fluffy, he does have the stamina, and Brendan Allen doesn't have that. So I think maybe we can give the first round to Brendan Allen, and then the last 2, I am definitely going to go with Fluffy Hernandez, because the stamina due to their endurance. I don't think Brendan Allen can hold up as long as Anthony Hernandez, you know? So, I'm going to go with either a late finish for Anthony Hernandez, maybe in that 3rd round, or just a 29-28 decision for Anthony Hernandez, cementing himself as a top prospect in the middleweight division. So, I think after this fight, we could give Anthony Hernandez, like, a Kyle Barala. It's been a minute since he's fought. I think his last fight was against Cannonier in August. So, you know, we need to get Kyle Barala back on. If Anthony Hernandez could even get a quick finish against Brendan Allen, well, then we can book that fight pretty soon. But I still think that fight should be next for both of these competitors, Charles Barolo and Anthony Hernandez. So let's talk about the main event of the night. Henry Cejudo, yeah. I don't know, Kush. Let's talk about it. Henry Cejudo, man, versus Song Yadong. This is going to be a really interesting fight. You want to know why this is going to be a really interesting fight? Because Henry Cejudo is washed. I bring you this because Henry Cejudo just got dog-walked by Merab Dvalishvili. And you could argue that's the champ right now. But in that nature, an Olympic wrestler getting dog-walked by some random Georgian dude with good stamina. I'm sorry, that's not a good look. And Henry Cejudo was 38. Song Yadong's 27. He's young. He has a lot of time. And obviously he's coming off that loss to Peter Yan, which he didn't look that good in. But still, Henry Cejudo, like I just said, is coming off that loss to Merab Dvalishvili. And Henry Cejudo is really old. I said it before. I'll say it again. And I think he really needs to win this fight for his legacy. Because, you know, you look at his last 2 losses. Aljo, arguably the greatest bantamweight of all time. Merab, also arguably the greatest bantamweight of all time. And Song Yadong, if he loses to Song Yadong is not exactly any of those. He's a good prospect, I'd say. He's young. He has knockout power in that division. And Henry Cejudo, like always, is going to be at a disadvantage in that fight. With his height, this guy's a midget. He's a midget practically. Song Yadong's let's see Song Yadong's height. Song Yadong is 5'8", which is 4 inches taller than Henry Cejudo. So that's obviously gonna be an advantage. And I think this fight comes down to one thing: how easily Henry Cejudo can get this fight down on the ground. Because if he can do it pretty easily with a lot of ease, well then he's probably gonna win this. And you look back at Song Yadong's earlier fights in the UFC, he got out wrestled a lot by the likes of who? I think Chito Vera and what's this guy's name? Skylar Phillips. I think that's his name. But obviously they're not anywhere near Henry Cejudo's level in the grappling department. The grappling, the wrestling, the striking. They're just not anywhere near Henry Cejudo's level of wrestling. So if Song Yadong can get easily out wrestled by Henry Cejudo, well then I'm going to go with Henry Cejudo winning this fight. It just depends on that, because if Henry Cejudo can also mix in the wrestling, if he can also mix in the wrestling a little bit and have some striking, this is going to be a really easy fight for him. If Song Yadong can stop the takedown threat, then I think that's going to be a field day for him. He's going to piece up Henry Cejudo. So it's going to be hard to give a clear prediction on this fight, because like I just said, it just depends. I think we'll establish it in the first couple minutes of the fight how the fight's going to go. And if you see Henry Cejudo shoot a takedown, he gets it pretty easily, we're probably going to give this fight to him. If you see Henry Cejudo shoot a takedown, doesn't get it, maybe Song Yadong's landing some good shots early, I think we're going to go ahead and give this to Song Yadong. So it just depends. But I am just going to go with Triple C, dude. I think he is just better. He's just better. He's more experienced. And with that experience does come age. But don't forget who this man was. We won't forget who this man was in that domination era, 2020, early 2019. This guy was killing everyone. TJ Dillashaw, Dominic Cruz. He beat, obviously, Mighty Mouse as well. So, you can't forget who this man was in his prime. He knocked out a bunch of people too. So this guy had knockout power at flyweight, at bantamweight, decent knockout power. I won't act like he's Song Yadong level. Obviously, Song Yadong does have that threat of the knockdown. I can't imagine Triple C getting knocked out. I can't imagine. I don't really see a finish in this fight. I'm gonna be honest with you. I see this fight going the distance, unless one of these guys is really gassed in the 5th round, which I think is very unlikely. There probably won't be a finish in this fight. I think I'm gonna go with the 48-47 for Triple C, dude. I think it could be going back and forth, trading rounds, and eventually Triple C just finds the edge and picks up the win in this fight. After his last 2 fights, I think he's kind of like taken off his gloves, but he hasn't actually said anything. He's really indecisive, man. But this guy needs to just go back to wherever he came from and just finish his podcast, please. Like, no one wants to see this guy fight anymore. He's not going to be fighting for a title anytime soon. And he's 38. Hang up the boots on a win. Win or loss, I think Henry Cejudo should retire. Song Yadong, win or loss, he's still going to be a great talent in the bantamweight division. And we'll see where this fight takes him. Thank you much for watching. That's my prediction for the fight night this weekend. We got a lot of good fights. Obviously, this card was supposed to be a lot better than it actually was. We had Curtis Blades on this card. We had Edson Barboza on this card. And we had Dominic Cruz on this card as well. So it's fallen off a little bit, but we still do have fights like Gene Silva, like Ibo Aslam, and some good fights like that. So I'm excited for this card. Thank you boys for watching, and I'll see you boys in the next one. Peace.